Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Karen, Lavender Clothesline, and today is Tuesday. We are just about to head out, we meaning you and me, to go to Community Aid Thrift. Today is Senior Citizen Day. I like to get there early, so it's a little bit after 8 a.m. And then we are on to Goodwill. I might even do the bins a little bit today if I'm feeling adventurous. So hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get on the road. Let's see what we can find to flip for a profit. So the first store we're starting out in is Community Aid. I like to come here on Tuesdays because it is Senior Day. 55 and older gets 50% off most items. So any items that you're seeing a price on, most times I'm paying 50% of that price. There are a few exceptions, but let's get on with the video. Here I'm looking at ties, men's neckties. Yep, I still buy men's neckties. I have a tendency to look for 100% silk. I also look for still Donald J. Trump ties. And the third thing I look for are ties that would be vintage, like mid-century modern. Something with like an atomic print or very bold print. I think my highest return on a tie to date was over $100. So I always look. Here I'm looking at this lamp. It caught my eye. I almost like this for my house. I'm not quite sure why I didn't pick it up. I thought it was in great condition. I think because the shade sat so low to the carved base, I didn't know how much light it would really give. Okay, there was the tap test, and that was like a ceramic. Now, I've heard a few times that milk glass is coming back into vogue. I haven't seen a lot of decorators decorating with milk glass, but you never know. Community Aid is a store that I'm not really in love with, to be truthful, but I do pop in because the price point is good. So here, this radio, Sony, was vintage, I believe, and see how it had a green tag? This was not half price. So I do put this in my cart. I'm expecting to get probably between 40 and 50 for it. And while I'm focusing in on my cart, I figured I'd show you what else I picked up. I got this carved, I think it's Peruvian wall art. Really excited about that, super heavy. I got a pair of men's Orvis shoes and this painted wood plate folk art design, I would call it. So I think I have some clothing down there also, but I'm pretty enamored with this heavy carved wall art. One thing I do like about this Community Aid is they have a corner in the back of the store for furniture, and Goodwill does not. So a lot of the Goodwills I go to no longer have furniture, but this Community Aid usually has a fairly good selection. So again, green tag, so this would have been $13, very heavy, and it winds up they have two of them. So while I was looking at the heavy oak desk, I spotted this, I'm going to call this like a file cabinet on wheels. Not really sure what this was for because it opened like an oven. So if you know what this was originally for, can you leave a comment down below? I'm thinking it's a file cabinet, but I'm not quite sure if it's a hanging file system or what. So in this store, again, I like looking at furniture because the price point is usually very good. Now, any furniture that is really nice goes very quickly. So if you want something, you gotta grab it. And here, I am shocked at the quality of these chairs. $5.99, I had to pay full price. I am over the moon happy with these. I had spotted them when I first came to this corner, and I was trying to contain myself so I could catch this on film. These are two genuine Stickley chairs. Does it get any better than this? Nope. I am thrilled. Look at the craftsmanship. You can tell these are high quality. So here I'm saying, okay, how am I going to hold on to these and be able to carry them up to the counter? It winds up that a manager had come around the corner at the perfect time, and I had asked him, I said, I really want these chairs. Can you hold them up front for me? Normally they do not do this, but he said, sure, no problem. So I wind up putting both of these chairs in my cart till I could get them to the front of the store, like Beverly Hillbillies or something. Do you guys remember that show? And this is how I did it, very carefully. Okay, one more time. Look at the quality of those. Are we loving those? Yes. I was kind of hoping for 2 more. I was feeling a little bit greedy in my heart. I just love those chairs. I believe they're cherry. They're from the Cherry Valley collection that Stickley put out. I'm not exactly sure of the age. I'm going to have to do research, but it's $6 a piece. Yes, all day long. In the cart they went. Okay, so I ran the chairs up to the front and they were holding them behind the counter. And I said to the girl, would you put my name on them? And she said, sure. What's your first name? I said, oh, could you put my last name too? I was so nervous about somebody taking them. So right now I currently have the chairs listed for $750 on Facebook Marketplace. I probably won't get that price, but you figure might as well start high and see what kind of reaction they get. So now I'm just going to go down the Housewares aisle. Most of this on this side is metal on this back wall, and then it turns to wood. I have a tendency to really like these kind of baskets, these wire baskets. Years ago, I had found a French one. It was made in France, and it was an antique, and it was just stunningly beautiful. It had a glass insert, and I think that's what makes me look at that type of basket, the wire woven ones. So here I'm just giving you a view of what's on the shelves. I think I've done much better in this store with hard goods rather than clothing. A lot of the clothing is very worn, very out of style, and just low quality. I wasn't sure. I expected that to be a tissue box. I'm not quite sure why a tissue box would have drawers, but as you could see, it was a jewelry box. I have sold those canisters before, but the ones I had were in very good condition. And while you think colonial or early American with the eagles is not in style, quite a few people still collect that. So I always look at that type of item, but those were in pretty poor condition. Now this was just an item from probably a regular like Marshall's or something like that, TJ Maxx, and it had quite a bit of wear, or I probably would have picked up the frog candle holder. Okay, so I'm looking at these figurines to show you guys. Avon puts out, I think they were awards maybe, I forget what they're called. Not this one, not in the vase, this is something different. The first piece I picked up. And I think I find another one, but I wanted to make note of it that almost everything Avon is not worth picking up. Yeah, so here is the Avon 125 years. Unless these things have gone way up in price, I never pick those up. I thought this vase was beautiful, but it did have quite a bit of damage on the, I'm going to call them tulip openings. It's probably not tulip, but we're going to call it that. This looked like a little Capodimonte piece. This is Andrea. And again, it had damage. More often than not, these pieces have damage. They're very breakable. And the Capodimonte ones, even the ones that don't have damage, I haven't really done that well with them. I think they're really out of style, maybe for a lot of people. Here's just a little kitty cat figurine. I didn't feel he was special enough, so sorry, little kitty. I let somebody else buy you, which I'm sure he would get bought pretty quickly. Okay, we are on to the back wall. I've really stopped picking up, famous last words, plates. A lot of plates I'm not really gravitated towards. Okay, so here is glass. Now we all know this is not Fire and Light, but it does look like a recycled glass, and I'm looking for any kind of marking. But I think this is just a simple, low dollar item. Now, if anybody thinks that I have missed out on a really big treasure, do not leave a comment down below. But I did look quite a bit for any kind of marking, signature, stamping, and did not find one, so I left those behind. Most dinnerware, a lot of it I'm not picking up. I will take a look at a pretty plate like this. I thought this one was especially nice, but I don't really do well with these. So back on the shelf he went. I thought this was quite unique. Made in Thailand, just a slab of purple glass amethyst. This picture was pretty. If that would have been signed in any way, I would have taken that. That type of glaze and in this type of style, I think enough buyers are interested in that. It goes into farmhouse chic or anything like that. Here, this is a plate that is flash painted, so I picked it up to show you guys. We've talked about this before, where the paint is applied and it makes it look like it's colored glass. Now last week, I think I filled a cart with hard goods. Today I wasn't finding as much. I think blue glass is just capturing my attention lately, and I am really looking at a lot of glass these days. I don't really feel like I'm learning much, but I'm trying. Okay, so this is just home by, this is Target, right? And the dinner plates were there. I just took a look at them to see who made them. Very heavy stoneware. The shipping on something like that almost always kills the sale for me. I thought these glasses were unique because they have an atomic print on them. I didn't feel that this was genuine vintage. I think these were remakes, but I could be wrong about that. Maybe Libby put them out. I'm not even sure. Once again, kudos to you guys selling a lot of glass. I think glass has been the hardest thing for me to learn because so much of it is unmarked. So, you know, I can tell the difference between like blown glass or pressed glass or cut glass, but that's about it. Okay, so here we're finding a yellow tail bottle of wine that has been turned into probably a spoon rest or a trivet. I could have looked that up, but I don't think it would have brought much. And now, just like magic, we are in Goodwill. I forgot to make an intro going into Goodwill. So just know we're in Goodwill. I think you guys probably recognize my Goodwill by now. Okay, this was probably a cake plate. I'm a sucker for stuff like that. The crystals were plastic, but that was kind of pretty. I like to see things like that, the platter with crystals repurposed. So I would like to see that maybe on a vanity or, I don't know, having some other purpose other than holding food. It's just a little precious moments, or is that Holly Hobby? That might be Holly Hobby. Vase, which I don't think they bring a lot of money. Okay, back to glass. I hope this video doesn't bore everybody with all the clear glass. See, again, this is looking like recycled glass to me. So once again, I'm looking for that fire and light signature. See the swirl in it? I tried to lift it up to the light so you guys can really see the pattern in the glass. I'm sure there's a lot of glass like that out there, so not every piece of recycled glass is going to be valuable. This figurine was just beautiful. Now, it was marked. I didn't see a maker's mark, but Mary's hand had quite a bit of damage. I would have bought that in a heartbeat. Look how beautiful that is. Beautifully painted. What a shame that the hand was cracked. There's another figurine. I guess I didn't have much to say about that. I always look at tins. I don't pick up a lot of them. I used to pick up quite a few, anything that had beautiful artwork or really beautiful floral pattern, but I'm really over it. Not that they don't bring money, but I don't know. It's not really my thing anymore. I loved this. Today I will be relaxed. That's so me. And then I do 100 things. Okay, this is Falls Graph. And I forget the name of this canister, This definitely has a name. There's Foolsgraph. It's a very mid-century 1960s look, in my opinion. And I have looked them up before. So if you have all four and they're pristine, you can make some money on them. But again, the shipping kills. Foolsgraph is very heavy, in my opinion. Every Foolsgraph piece I've seen is just too heavy to be shipping, especially through USPS. I don't think I would have bought that tray even if the handle wasn't broken, but I always look at wood. In my 8 years of selling, it would be very interesting to know how many wood items I have sold. It's probably been a ton. I did not like that piece at all, but I figured I would turn it over to see if anybody was claiming artistry for it. The store was quiet today. Usually there are just a ton of resellers in this store, including me. It was quiet, but not a lot of good coming out. Not a lot of good items, which I still got maybe half a cart. Okay, I'm looking at Diaper Genie because my mind is saying, aren't those the refillable plastic bags to throw out diapers? I don't think I ever had a Diaper Genie, but I was thinking, if that was cheap enough, I could use those as wastebasket liners. I'm so cheap. But I wasn't sure. Sometimes I just pick up things and look at things because I'm curious. I want to know everything about everything. Here's another piece. This isn't especially old, probably held either bowls for condiments or jellies or, relishes, and I think that should be repurposed for something. I'm pretty sure this was a craft project, maybe at a ceramics, I don't know, ceramics store. Not quite sure what was going on there. So these are one type of the carts that they use, that's probably poor English, to roll out items. And you can hear them, which I love. So when the carts come out, you can hear them being wheeled out from the back. I thought I'd stick this Jasperware, I guess this is, in my cart. It wasn't marked Wedgwood, but I was going to think about that for a while. Sometimes if I'm on the fence about something, I will put something in my cart for a little while, but then I pull it right back out. This is a very bad copy of a Coach bag. No, I don't pick up these figurines. These are for the different months of the year, for your birthday month. I think this was May. I didn't catch what it said on the bottom, and I never buy those. Little souvenir dolls. More times than not, the elephants have damage, whether it's their trunk or their tusks. Terrible. I feel bad for all these little wooden elephants. Okay, here I spotted, I can't believe I didn't look at this first, vintage gloves in great condition. Yes, please, all day long. And now I'm starting to realize this little area on the cart has some good vintage stuff. So I did look at this little purse, but I felt like something was off, too cheaply made. But underneath it was the prize. Can we just take a moment and appreciate this little purse handbag? I think I do pick it up for you guys later in the video, so no worries, we'll get back to that one. But for now, I just want to see what is on this cart. Another evening bag. The clasp is well worn, and my hand is telling me it is silk, so I do put this in the cart to take a look at that. And a beaded, again, a little purse, which that one, I wasn't feeling it. Could be a mistake, but I put that one back. Chickens. We love good chickens. A wood ashtray. I don't know that I've ever seen a wood ashtray. So when you put your cigarette out, wouldn't it burn the wood? What am I missing there? And now we are onto the shoes. This store has a lot of pairs of shoes. Oh, Lily Pulitzer for Target flip-flops. Yes, please. I will have those, and they just happen to be my size. And I did try those on, and even though they were a size 8, they fit like a 7.5. Okay, so these are fit flops. I don't know why I was looking at those. Something must have caught my attention. I'm still selling quite a bit of men's leather loafers. In fact, I think I shipped one out this morning. It's all a blur. I think they were, who made the ones I shipped out this morning? I'd have to go back and check. I don't even know. But that's probably the #1 shoe I sell, men's leather loafers. Woven leather, tassel kilty ones, whip stitch, moccasin, just goes on and on. Okay, I knew I wouldn't be buying those shoes, but I want to go to a party and wear those shoes. Oh, a piece fell off of this little glass tree. All of these petals are made out of shaped glass. Now I have sold not this kind, but better ones, and not so Asian inspired. So I do go back and pick up the little petal piece so that we could take a look at what that looks like. Sometimes I wonder if this is made out of seashell, but I'm pretty sure they're glass. And I think we've all seen these, especially in like Chinese restaurants where they have, you know, them on the counter. So I do put that in my cart because I want to take a look at how it's made, but I do not purchase that. So this gray cart is the second type of cart that they wheel out. So we have the red ones and these gray ones. These gray ones are a little quieter. Yep, I know the sounds of the carts. That's how much I shop. So from like 10 aisles down, I can tell you what color cart came out. Not that it matters, it's all just a bunch of stuff. I picked up a basket somewhere. I'm not quite sure where I got that and I didn't film it. So I did put the flatware in my cart and I went through them and there were too many different patterns. Okay, these are essential oils and I do use diffusers in my house. Because when I leave the house, I would never leave a candle burning, but I will leave a diffuser going. Okay, Henri Vendel. Yes, please. I love that name. I think it's French. And I probably butchered saying Henry, but I know in French they don't pronounce the H. And in the cart those went, those were home fragrance. I think this was a candle, but I couldn't get the top off with one hand holding the camera, so we'll just have to imagine there's a candle in there. It was quite heavy. You can tell I'm tired. I'm holding on to bend down. I go up and down like 1,000 times a day. I should have the strongest legs for all the squats I do. Okay, so I did pick up a few pieces of clothing and I found a men's wallet. Now this needs a good leather cleaning. It does look like it has maybe a mildew or some kind of spotting on it, and it did smell a little musty, but the name is good. So I'm going to air that thing out a lot and clean it. Here I'm showing the clothing that I found because I felt bad that I didn't have the camera on. 2 pairs of Patagonia men's hiking pants. And here I'm showing you the baskets I found, just nesting baskets, seagrass. Just making sure I showed you everything. These were the gloves. Just lovely. When I see gloves like that, I think of the word lovely. Vaporizing home perfume. I might have to keep one of those. And here I'm pulling out this stunningly beautiful little purse. This is like a mesh. I'm not sure what the material is. I'm really going to have to look at that under a magnifying glass. I believe this is true Art Deco. How stunningly beautiful. Gorgeous shape. I was so thrilled to find that. And here I'm just reminding you to go out and get what's yours. So I did have plans on showing you guys a little bit of me shopping at the bins. So into the Goodwill outlet I went, and can I just say, this place a lot of times is disgusting. It's so bad sometimes. Sometimes it's great to shop in it, but I don't know, it's just really bad today. So I figured, why not film anyway and just show those of you who don't have bins. You might want to be glad you don't shop at the bins. The amount we throw out in this country, we've got to be the #1 country for waste. We have to be. Later on, I actually scan, because I didn't want to do it here, too many people around. I'll scan the place, and you will see the amount that's going to go to the landfill is just astonishing. And you could be sure I had my hand sanitizer with me, pure alcohol. And when I come out of this place, I definitely take off whatever jacket or outer shirt I have on. I put it in the back of my trunk, and I wash my hands right away in the ladies' room. Here was a yearbook. I'm not quite sure why I didn't pick this up. This was 1946. That might have been a mistake on my part, because the condition was not bad. Now, you will sit on yearbooks for a long time till the right person comes along. They do sell, but like I've shared in the past, they do really well if there's a famous person in the book. I think some of the resellers that work the hardest are the people that do full-time outlet center or bins. Look at this rug. Oh. I figured I'd do this for you guys. Show you how gross everything is. But there I am. I'm in there. I know, and you guys are all going to say, you should have worn gloves. To be truthful, I hardly ever wear gloves. I'm not sure what that was about. Apple juice. Crazy. And can a person cut their hands? Absolutely yes. There is nothing safe about digging in these. But I find that when I wear gloves, I just miss too much if I'm going to dig. Look at the amount of clothing, guys. There's mountains of this stuff, and this gets rotated. So this isn't like one time each day. This is coming out multiple times a day. I guess Goodwill sells it off. I don't think they're putting this in the landfill. Can you tell that I'm upset by this? Like, look at the amount of clothing. I guess somebody was shopping and, and left. And quite a few shoppers stay here all day. They get here when it opens, and I'm going to say they're here for at least 8 hours. Charlotte Russe, but I liked that print. So I'm trying not to catch too many people on film. But okay, Denim & Company. I don't pick up a lot of this brand, but I thought this was very good, but it was too stained. I really didn't want to try to clean this. Wasn't feeling it. But the jacket itself was very nice. I really liked this print. So you could tell I thought about it for a hot second, but I came to my senses. So that is my shopping for today. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. Hit that like and subscribe button, and as always, go out and get what's yours.